We on? Hey, what's up, guys? It's Showtime. Showtime Shred Fitness over here. Size, growth, whoosh, get big. All right. So we got quarantine is almost, possibly, depending on if we have a handle on things, but things are opening up now, and so that's kind of cool. Hopefully nobody gets sick. And or if people do with it, it's minimal, so we can freaking go back to the way we were. That'd be pretty cool. So we'll see what happens. Pretty optimistic about it. Just following the rules, If we stay home, we stay home. If we don't stay home, we don't stay home. I'm going with the flow over here. I'm not worried about dying from it. Right? I just died 2 days ago. So if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't, right? But if I do get any kind of a symptom that looks like I might have it, right? I've been tested like a week or two ago anyways, negative. But anyhow, still, if that were to happen, I would definitely quarantine my happy ass, right? Because I don't want to hurt anybody else. Fair enough. But right now, shoot, man, I'm keeping the distance from people, keeping that social distance thing and doing the fucking mask shit and all that stuff. So, do my part best I can, right? I stayed in the house the most I could, unless I had to do some running errands or whatever, go to the drive-thru for some food or, go grocery shop and whatever I had to do, right? The necessary stuff, right? Other than that, stayed put, did my Bowflex in the house, right? If I did access a gym, it was when there was absolutely no people in there, or maybe one or two, right? Just home gym type shit, okay? So I followed the rules. I did my part, right? And so I got nothing to feel bad about. I know I didn't kill nobody, right? I know I didn't get nobody sick. So I'm happy about that, okay? Now, I did not die of the coronavirus, okay? I died of low blood sugar, right? I got diabetes. I had my goodies with me, and so I knew exactly what it was, right? You don't get it in time, you sweat a little bit, shake a little bit. Here's what you do, you get some sugars in you, right? Soy pop, juice, candy, bread, shit like that. Just, get it in your system, you'll be fine. If you don't get it in time, diabetic coma, of course, die, right? Fair enough. So that's basically what started to happen. As a slight perspiration, right? And I guess it was more than slight by the time we got done with everything, but we'll get into that later. To me, it just felt slight perspiration. I felt fine. I was a little lightheaded, used to that. Then I get my candy or whatever, my goodies, and I'm good to go, right? No issues. So what happened was we went downstairs in the hotel, right? And I used to have at least soda pop or juice drinks or something in the fridge. I didn't have that this time. So I went downstairs, right? I had some cash on me. Well, I only had 20s, right? And the lowest they accept is ones and fives, right? So I didn't have change on me or anything like that. So I thought, okay, front desk always got change. So I was going to go to the front desk, get change, bada bing, bada boom, done, right? My buddy Owen was with me, said, let's go to the store, right? So I said, all right, cool, let's do it. So we go to the store, right? And by the time I'm outside, I'm really out of it. I'm like, man, where'd you park? He goes, oh, I'm right over here by your car. I was like, all right, cool. So we get into his vehicle, right? And I remember doing that and shutting the door. And then I don't remember anything until we're at the mini mart, little Circle K, right? Off of First Avenue and Washington Street, okay? And I'm on the passenger seat waiting for him to get my candy. And then next thing I know, I don't remember the drive back or nothing, I'm in the fucking bed, right? With the fucking IV in my arm, right? And they're pumping in glucose drip IV, right? So, I had to slowly go back and see what happened, because I do remember being in, because I was like, man, how much time have I been going and all this stuff, because I was in a timeless zone, right? So I was in the spirit world. So there's this peaceful feeling, no stress, no nothing. And, it took me a few minutes to get some of the recollection back, and some of it took a few hours, right? So it took like 3 to 5 hours for my full memory to come back on this stuff. So I was up there floating around, right? And felt like I could drop in any time zone, right? Because it was like no past, no present, no future, freaking weird, right? Had no sense of time, no sense of urgency, no sense of stress. It was nice, right? So anyways, and then I also remember being on the ceiling and watching the EMTs work on me, right? And I remember certain things like, this was before I even opened my eyes, because I was watching it from first the ceiling and then from the bed next to me and then my motel bed that they had me on. When they cut open my Under Armour tank top, and they had to cut it open to give me the schlock, okay, and stuff. And so the nice thing is I'm always shaved down, see. My wife likes that chest hair, see, so this was good. He didn't shave my chest or nothing. I just put paddles on, right? Didn't have to shave nothing. So that was good. So saved time. But when Owen brought me back, apparently he said, yeah, Maribel, he's fine. Just let him sleep, and Showtime be fine. He just needs to take a nap. So that would have been bad advice, right? I would have freaking died. Yeah, well, he did die anyways, but she made a couple phone calls. She should have called 911, but it's not her fault. I didn't coach her up. I didn't coach Owen up on what was going on. If I had just told him, if I can't get the carbs in quick enough, the sugars, just call 911. They'll take care of it, right? I didn't do that. So Owen leaves. I turn purple, apparently. Hands go like this, feet and everything, and freaking turn purple and like frothing at the mouth and all this stuff, like rabid dog, right? That had rabies or hadn't eaten in a while or was mad or something, right? So purple. It was purple. Not a good color for a human being to be, right? So my wife was calling my mom, my dad, and eventually 911, and so she was giving me chest compressions while she was talking to 911. They were asking her these questions, and she asked for an interpreter. They said, we'll try to get you one, and she said, finally, fuck you. By the time we get here, my husband's going to be dead. She hangs up the phone, right? And then there's a knock on the door. Probably, while she was on the phone with them, they probably had him dispatched. Fair enough. Because they do that oftentimes. CMTs do. They'll have the info. They'll be listening to it. They're going route, and they'll be fed information as they go along. Here's the situation. Here's the health, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So, but that's okay, right? Remember, didn't know that. They were there by then anyways, and they were able to ask her questions. She was able to answer them pretty good. She was able to tell them about my large heart and my the diabetes and all this stuff. And so I was hearing this while I was up on the ceiling and stuff, watching them work on me, right? And then this part I don't remember until like a few hours later, right? Like 3 hours later or so, after I had my bath and my sugars and my Coke, and with the Coke with the sugar in it, Coca-Cola, and then the 3 hour nap. Because in the beginning, it was like flavorless. Like it was like I couldn't taste my my candy or the soda pop. It was like tasteless almost, right? And I got out of the bathtub, nice warm bath. Still didn't feel right. I was still dizzy. I still got out of it. So I took a 3 hour nap, right? Man, I woke up. I was ready to go to the gym. I was 100%. I was fired up, ready to go. Like nothing happened. It was cool. But when I was reflecting back, that's when my memory came back, started remembering everything. I was like, holy shit. When I woke up and I had AMT that was holding my hand, his face and shit, I literally changed. So it was a Puerto Rican prince and fucking that like frog thing that Matt Porter always has when he's on stage, right? And it was Matt Porter. I swear to God, it was Matt Porter, right? Because it was his face. He said, "You're right," and this and that. And then freaking his face like turned into like a different Puerto Rican dude. Like his hair had stayed the same, but his face, like in the movies, like literally changed. It was a freaking trip. So that was cool. That means if you like to help people and stuff, you can do that. And I know because when I was up there I think I was like probably gone for like a couple days, but they said it was 5 minutes. But I felt like I'd been gone for a couple of days, and since there's no track of time, I don't know how long I was really gone. Was I gone 5 minutes? Was I gone 2 days? I don't know. But in civilian time, in this worldly time, I was only gone for about 5 minutes. But it was cool because, like I said, it was peaceful. You could drop in any time zone. But forever how many minutes or days or hours, whatever it was really going according to spirit world. When I woke up, while I was up there, I mean, you could drop in any time zone. And so Matt Porter was able to drop right into my time zone and slip right in, teleport right into the frickin'. I didn't see that from the ceiling. He was already working on me and I couldn't see the faces. So he was already teleported into the guy by then. But I got to watch him shock me and all that shit. But he teleported into the head EMT's body. And then once I woke up, that's when he teleported out, and that's why his face went. I didn't see him leave the body or anything. All I see was a face change. And it was a trip because I forgot all about that detail. Because when I woke up, it was like I had to remember everything. Like, where am I at? How long have I been gone? Who am I? How long have I been helping? All this stuff. And then the recollection started coming back later. It was like I was fine when I was dropping in the zone. It could have felt like I could drop into time zones on the ceiling, on the bed. I had my full energy, but once I was shocked back into that body because of the low sugar, because of being shocked, because of going from the spirit world to the natural world. It was like Superman getting a huge dose of kryptonite. It was like all fucked up when I opened my eyes, like I've been sleeping for a couple days or something. It's a trip. But it was a fun experience, man. And if you worry about dying, unless you have a bad experience, like if you're getting, like, because I've heard of people having bad experiences too, so that's why I don't want to say it's going to be okay if you die, because I don't know what, everybody's experience is different. Some people see white lights. I didn't see one, but I was up, not down. That's a good sign, right? And it was a peaceful feeling. That's a good sign. There were no pitchforks, no screeching fucking crows, or lightning, or black skies, or any crazy shit like that. Like some people have had a negative experience and experience that shit. Okay, I've had bad dreams that have had that kind of shit in it that made me worry, But this was not the case here at all. It was all good shit. Peaceful, stress-free, timeless. Yeah, it was a good experience. A lot of fun. It was fascinating, because I'm always in touch with the spirit world anyways, and the universe, and I'm always fascinated with that shit, right? So I had fun with it. I don't want to put people through that again because pissed Maribel off and worried her a little bit, right? And of course, I don't like having to take people's time or try to save my life when they could be out, saving somebody else's life. So let's make sure I got, the goodies around me all the time from here on out, right? It's very preventable, and I know my shit, and I know the science on it and everything. I could have very easily prevented that. It was an amateur mistake because it's something I've done multiple times. Never had an issue until now, and again, very preventable. It's been showtime. Showtime Straight Fitness over here. Size, growth, whoosh, get big. All right. Take care. God bless.